Hi, Mary Elizabeth Parker here. I was having trouble deciding what to make this week's main video about, so I decided to just kind of make it a hodgepodge video. I was originally thinking of watching the movie Get Out, which comes out on DVD in I think 2 weeks, and I've been looking forward to seeing it. I've been actually really wanting to see this movie, but the only way for me to see it right now is to spend $16 on a digital copy, and I like to have my formats in a hard copy. I like to own the DVD, I like to own the CD or record, or tape cassette even. I still watch those and use those mostly if I'm going to listen to music or watch a movie that I own. It's going to be a physical copy. So I'm going to have to wait on discussing that, even though the main character, the main actor in it, I first saw in a TV show from England called Psychoville, which I love. Unfortunately, they don't make the DVDs in Region 1, only Region 2. So you can't get a normal copy in the States legally. I will admit I did find a company that makes hard-to-find DVDs at one point and got a copy through them, but it's kind of jumbled, and so it's not the best quality, but at least I get to see the show. It'll sometimes pause randomly. It's frustrating. Maybe someday when I get a multi-regional DVD player, or if they ever actually put it on Region 1, I can get a good copy of it. But it is an excellent show. I found it through watching YouTube videos. Yeah. So in case you guys want to know, Psychoville, it's really hilarious. It is dark comedy. It's created by Reece Shearsmith, and I just suddenly blanked on his name. And Pemberton. Steve Pemberton. Those are the creators. They were members of League of Gentlemen, which is another slightly strange comedy show out of BBC. I do like my British shows. I don't know why, I think it's because there's the cross of the sophomoric toilet humor with the highbrow all together, and I do tend to enjoy my dark humor. I guess I'm a little twisted in that way, I don't know. Or maybe I'm lucky because I can find the humor in the grisly sometimes. So, yeah. But I thought maybe I would tell you a little more about myself. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, because I have already done a book review, I do love books. In fact, I just got another advanced reading copy, which is motivating me to read the book I'm currently reading that I'm having trouble getting into. I think it's my own fault because I interpreted the title differently than what the actual story is. But it's encouraging me to read it faster so I can get to this other advanced reading copy I got called Quackery. And it's all about the worst medical treatments in history. So I'm looking forward to reading that. That comes out in October of this year. Hopefully I'll do a book review of that, but I have a feeling it's not one of those just read straight through type books. It's more like Darwin Awards and things like that, where you can find the humor, but you can also learn from the bad mistakes, hopefully. Hopefully we can start learning from our bad mistakes in this world, and admitting that they were there. So that book sounds like a fun book, but like I said, it doesn't seem like one that you read front to back. It's more of a hop around, I think, but we'll see once I start getting to read it, because I do try to keep myself to one book at a time, and if I'm reading magazines at the time, one magazine at a time. Otherwise I get a stack that is ridiculous that will take me years to get through. So I do love reading. I also am a big fan of film, a lot of television as well, in my knowledge of background. In fact, I'm such a fan of film, I actually have a degree, I like to call it a degree in watching movies. But really it's a Bachelor's of Arts degree in cinema studies. So really, when I watch a movie, I'm really aware of what I'm watching. I will rip it apart a lot of times. But I'm not saying I only watch the highbrow or the really deep movies. I'll watch the cheese too. I will watch Strange Brew. Sometimes you want the laughing movies, but it's still fun to see the parallels to other things in there. Like, if you haven't seen Strange Brew, it's the Bob and Doug McKenzie from SCTV. And Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas, not Wendy's Dave Thomas, actor Dave Thomas, played the main guys. They were also the guys who played the moose in Brother Bear, if you've seen that and you recognize their voices. But it's such good, silly fun. They do make a lot of Canadian jokes. Mind you, both actors are Canadian, but they make they're making fun of the Canadian stereotype, essentially. But so much of that movie parallels Hamlet. which a lot of people don't necessarily realize that that actually is taking the story from Hamlet in a lot of ways. So that's fun. But I do love to watch my films. They can be good, bad, highbrow, lowbrow, everything in between, foreign, non-foreign, domestic, it doesn't matter. If you want a cheesy foreign film that's just good, fun silliness, Le Visiteur is a great one. It's also called The Visitors, if you want to translate it to English. It's Jean Reno, for those who don't understand when somebody pronounces it in the French respect. It plays a main character, and it's a comedic role. His character is a middle-aged Frenchman who gets transported into the future, present day at that time, which I think was 80s, and meets his descendant. And he needs to try to find a way to go back, but the reason he goes to the future is he's trying to correct a wrong. It's just good farcical fun. So there's that. I do love music as well. I play a couple instruments. I've been lazy about learning guitar lately, but I am working on learning guitar. I'm learning on electric guitar. And oddly to most, I'm learning upside down. I started trying, I first picked it up both ways. I always air guitar lefty, apparently, but it's just completely natural and organic for me to hold it lefty, unnatural for me to hold it righty. So that's why I'm learning left-handed. It really has to do with what's most comfortable, and luckily the person who's supposed to be helping me learn guitar is completely cool with that. Already he plays upside down for guitar, and then he restrings his bass. So he could play almost any way he wants. He's one of those people who can pick up almost any instrument. He tried to pick up my piccolo to play it once. Couldn't do that one. But that, I understand that. So, yes, I do love music. I play flute, oboe, piccolo. I do not own my own oboe, unfortunately. They're ridiculously expensive, but I do miss playing it. I also sing. When my voice is in good shape, I have about 3.5 octaves to play with of my voice. I'm most comfortable usually in second alto or first tenor range. Really, I can sing the first soprano too. The second soprano type range is where it tends to hurt, and I had to build myself up to being able to sing a B on the staff, which I know probably sounds weird for most women. It is not a redundant note for me. I do not have that note in both chest and head voice. In fact, it's kind of a place that used to be a blank spot, so I have trouble hitting the B. Or at least accurately hitting a B. It's odd, I know, but hey, so am I. Yeah, I don't know what else to really share with you guys. I do have some movies that I do plan on watching. Like I said, Get Out is one of them. The Henrietta story, I forget her last name, but she is the woman whose DNA they took and replicated and were able to use it to create so many wonderful advances in science. The way they went about it, not okay. They didn't have permission to take her DNA. They didn't have the family permission or anything, but I will say a lot of good came out of this woman's DNA that they were able to take. A lot of treatments for HIV and just so much stuff. So, unfortunately, there is a lot out there of science that it started out unethically being practiced, but something really great came from it. You might actually be surprised how much technology we owe to unethical or even scientists we disapprove of now, partially because of how they did their experimentation, the fact that they used humans and they didn't think of them as humans. There is a book called Operation Paperclip. It is actually about the SS scientists who were brought to the States, and really a lot of them did contribute a lot to our current technology, including aeronautics. They were the leaders in the field. The way they went about testing the aeronautics while in the Nazi Party and under the Nazi regime, not okay. Quite frankly, not okay. But it has brought about some kind of good. I am in no way okay with how people were treated during that time. Yeah. The world is a conflicting and hard to meander through place sometimes. I do have a cat. His name is Napoleon. Most of the time he's a good boy. I've had him since he was about a week old. His real mother abandoned him. I think it was because she couldn't keep both kittens. So she chose the one that was better at suckling, thus the better, more likely one to survive, and luckily he was found within the first day of being abandoned. And I've had him ever since. He, like I said, he's mostly a good kitty, but lately he's been keeping me up at night and then wondering why I sleep in. It's like, you're waking me up all night, dude. He seems to go through this phase every spring. But I know I use the word "but" a lot, don't I? So hopefully you're enjoying my sharing some random information about myself. Hopefully I'll have a really good Random Facts Friday, and more of you will tune in for that than last week. If you missed last week's and you were interested, I did it on Cinco de Mayo. Still want everybody to be out there being kind and respectful to each other as much as you can, including to yourself. It's a struggle sometimes, I know, but it's better to be kind. And if you can't be kind, just stay quiet. If that's what you need to do. I think that's about it today. If you like this video or any of my others, please feel free to watch them if you haven't. And please subscribe if you didn't like it or anything. You're welcome to comment and let me know what you didn't like, or if there's anything you'd like me to do in the future for future videos. I would love to take suggestions. I'm going to include links below for how you can get a hold of me on social media, or if for some reason you actually want to contribute to help me and grow my channel that I've just started. I would greatly appreciate that too. I hope everyone is having a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye.